Hi, good afternoon. Actually, I'm here in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico today. And
Wow.
yeah, I know, right? Here taking a
Yeah,
vacation, but
nice.
wanted to take some time and talk to you, Sima. And my name is Valerie Milano, and I'm the lead editor of the Hollywood Times. And I can't wait to talk to you about your new video. But for right now, I want you to go ahead and talk to us about yourself and how you got into the business, please.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much, Valerie, for taking the time to talk to me about the new single. Well, I got into music very young. When I was 10 years old, growing up in Israel, I just discovered this, voice and passion for singing. And I was kind of like, the little girl that entertained everyone. And I sang in school and bar mitzvah, bat mitzvahs. And I was going and competing in different competitions and singing groups and stuff like that. And so it's something that just came very young. And I don't, my mom and my dad, none of them are singers and musicians, so I don't know where it came, but yeah, so I was, always into music and writing as a little girl. I always had my journal and I was kind of, writing stuff. And then I always had a dream to come to America and do it, I don't think I thought that far, but I always wanted to be here and do music in a professional way. I was inspired very much like by, American artists and bands. And so definitely being here was a goal. And I just, when that happened and I came to New York first, and that's pretty much when everything kind of came to place. It took a minute, it was, I didn't really plan to stay that long in New York, but it was a journey of coming to a place of like, oh, I'm doing this and I'm studying with incredible people and I'm developing my talent and my writing and my skills. That took a minute, but when I was actually doing it, it felt like, okay, I'm here for a reason and I'm doing what I love to do. And yeah, that's how I started my first, record. I started working on it in New York. And then I finished it in in LA. I kind of like got everything together. And yeah, from there, I after New York, I moved to Miami for a year and then I came to LA and that just continued from there, like releasing music, doing videos and performing live. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
So you're correct?
You were breaking up, what?
I'm sorry. You're in Los Angeles today, right now?
Right now I'm in LA. Yeah, I've been
Okay.
living here for a while. Yeah.
Okay. So your new single is a spiritual rock song, right? And it's entitled Devotion. What motivated you to write it?
Well, I initially wrote it for my peace documentary, which I started working on this film a few years ago. I was hoping to bridge the gap between Palestinians and Israelis and, bridge gaps and create healing through music. And because, the whole conflict is something I grew up with and my family's still there. So every time there was a war or bombing or something like that, it's very personal for me. So I wanted to do something that I always felt like music healed me and helped me dealing with a lot of conflicts and hard times in my life. And I thought like maybe through music I can open people's hearts. So I initially kind of wrote it for that purpose, started working on it for that purpose. And then when October 7th happened, I was devastated. I was broken. I was sinking into this dark hole of, depression and fear and anger and all the rainbow of emotions and everything that was going on. So I felt like instead waiting for the movie to be done or instead, waiting for the perfect opportunity and the timing. And also in some weird way, I was hoping to create peace with my song. And then my thought of peace in that moment was shattered. I felt like maybe we don't have the partners that I was hoping for, for peace, to have that peace. So that kind of shattered for me. I took it really personally, because it's something I put so much work and effort to create. And I said, you know what, I need to release the song now for creating healings in my life and also other people's lives. So, and bringing hope in a place that I felt like it was so dark, and anywhere you look at it, it's just devastating. So I wanted to support, the people that are going through hard times right now and bring some, message of hope. And yeah, I knew that would probably appeal to a certain, crowd and less than other and get attacked. And I said, you know what, in the end of the day, I'm Israeli, my whole family is there. I wanted to create peace through music. It's always been my goal. And I wasn't, I didn't get to achieve that and that, with the movie. But if I can give hope to the people that need it, I mean, and for myself, I think that was the most important thing, because I'm like, how do I find hope right now? Like, I was so into it, like this dark place that I was isolating, and I said, I need to get back to creativity to keep myself busy, and also my soul in a space that it's like, it's elevated, and it's in, like we have to find light, right, in dark times. And I felt like music always, it was that, tool that I used throughout my life to elevate me. So
Well,
that's what.
yeah, how have people from your homeland reacted to the song?
Everybody loved it from Israel, and not just in Israel. Some people that, connected, people that understand that I didn't try to, I think like it's funny, just before I got into this call with you, I opened YouTube and somebody posted this message. Oh, I'm so disappointed that this song, so hopeful, with a message, is taken aside of, like a side. And in my head, I'm like, how? Because maybe there is an Israeli flag there, which just happened to be there when I was in Israel in that specific location. It's not that I put it there, it was there in this gorgeous location. And then I said, oh my God, like how incredible to shoot next to it. And for me, the whole thing is showing this flag completely destroyed. And I mean, not destroyed, but it's ruined. It's if you see, it's like kind of ripped to pieces. And for me, it symbolized like what we feel right now in our soul and what's the country is going through. So for me, it wasn't like, I'm not trying to take side in the song, which my heart is with Israel, but it's not like I wasn't doing it because I'm taking trying to take a side. It was really from a hopeful place of love and pain, and just the flag just was there, and it symbolized the pain of my homeland and my whole family there. It's like I feel like when people throw in certain words, they don't understand the gravity of what we feel like, when we have family there and friends and people we love, and they running to the shelters, and like my parents don't have a shelter in the building too. So it's like I'm constantly worried. So it's like for somebody to say something like that, it hurts my soul, because it wasn't the intention of the song to divide or take a side. It was purely to create some light, and
Is devotion also available in English?
well, devotion is not really yet. I want to create like I wanted to make this song. I don't know. For me, it's like the essence of it is the prayer, and I'm trying to figure out how can I translate that prayer to English and not lose the essence of it, and what it did to me, because this is the first time I'm actually singing in Hebrew throughout my musical career in America. Like, so for me, just coming to a place that I'm singing a prayer that I took from the Bible, which I'm very spiritual. So just doing that for me was powerful, and also singing in my native language, which I didn't do. But I will release which I already created. I'm going to put together a lyric video with English subtitles, so people can't, understand the Hebrew part, what it means. But I also put in the description box of the video, like the translation. But I think that's the beauty part of devotion. It's showing like and representing the two sides of who I am, the American and the Israeli, the spiritual and the rocker. So for me to, I'll have to think about it, maybe. Maybe I'll do that eventually.
Is there a way for people on the outside to get a better understanding of what is going on? Maybe offer help or donate?
For what's going on in Israel?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, I think it's, you can always do something and donate to the families of the hostages, to, like you have to figure out what's something that important to you within this conflict, because there is so many people suffering. There is families that in Israel that are refugees in their own countries, people from the south and the north that had to evacuate. There is things that can be done to help soldiers. There is a lot of wounded and, soldiers and family that lost loved ones. The hostages situation, there is so many ways to contribute and help. But I think the best way, sometimes because there is so much division around it and so much hate and anti-Semitism and so much, and breaks my heart, especially because this country was so great to me. And I always been a person that like to have, friends from all over the world and create that, a space that everybody's welcome. So I feel like, just not to fall into certain things, and just, listen and, learn, educate yourself, like, I mean, when somebody have an opinion, it's really hard to persuade them if they already kind of developed a certain type of, so I always said, like, make sure you get your information from the right places. And even if you don't support whatever, those families, those hostages, it's real people, and they're really going through hard time. So for people to tear down posters and said it's not real, it's like, it breaks my heart. It's like, why don't you go to Israel? Why don't you maybe, I mean, there is a lot of families that come here to LA all the time, and they travel just to get people, to create awareness. So why don't you go to a gathering, listen to those families? I don't know what else to say anymore. It just, it breaks my heart. Those people are in the middle of something, and it's the loved ones. And just think about if it was your family member, if it was somebody you loved, put yourself in the shoes of somebody else. And maybe, like, we need to create more compassion. I think that's, for me, is a big thing that I'm also learning how to give myself. But I think we need to learn how to give ourselves compassion and others, and especially in these times, I think both sides are suffering, and people are suffering, and it's hard, and there is no need to add into the suffering.
Well, you're beautiful and so talented. And how can our readers and our YouTube viewers listen to the single and keep up with you and the date and your other projects? Let us.
Yeah, well, yeah, they can always find me on simamusic.com. It's my official, music website. I'm also, they can see the video on YouTube. Sima Galanti is my YouTube. They can search it by my name and the name of the song. They can support by downloading it and, stream it and share it and subscribing on YouTube, and just saying hi and communicating. I always like to meet new people. And yeah, I'm always like on social media, letting people know on Instagram and, Facebook and Twitter what I'm doing next. So yeah, we live in the social media world, and everybody's, can be found, that way. So yeah, I would like that song will put people in the heart.
Yes, I know it did me. And yes,
Yeah.
and I'm just so glad that you took the time today. And we are the Hollywood Times dot today, and our YouTube channel's the Hollywood Times Official, and we're getting the word out. And hopefully we can meet in person one day. That would be
That's
great.
so love that. Thank you so much. I really
Thank
appreciate the
you.
kindness
All
and the
right.
question.
Yes.
Thank you. Have a
Okay,
nice
Sima.
bye.
Thank you
Take
so
care.
much. Bye
Bye bye.
bye.